I still stand by something doesn't fit here. It just doesn't make sense that the highest profile prisoner in America, someone forgot to guard him. So I want to understand, I think everyone wants to understand what really happened.
We're wondering whether or not this story is changing. New York City Mayor Bill de Blasio agreeing with the famed pathologist Michael Baden that there is something fishy about the death of Jeffrey Epstein in prison. David Bruno, criminal defense attorney, here to analyze this. Sir, good morning to you. I want to point out that Baden is working on behalf of the brother.
Correct.
Which is the family of Jeffrey Epstein. Does he have motivation here to cast doubt on the medical examiners?
Well, certainly when you talk about where the financing came from, it came from the Epstein family. However, let's not forget here, he is not coming out and saying it's a homicide. He is saying that the evidence that he saw at the autopsy, he was there with the chief medical examiner, and the 3 broken bones in the throat, as well as hemorrhaging in the eyes and deep marks around the neck, he says, are indicative of a homicidal action and not a hanging. So that's important to note. And by the way, those findings are not disputed. The evidence of the broken bones was also found by the chief medical examiner. And there are plenty of doctors, forensic pathologists that I've seen that also question whether or not the broken bones mean hanging or strangulation. And you couple that with the questionable other evidence, like the guard sleeping, like nobody checking on Epstein for 3 hours, the forged records. There are question after question as to why.
Yeah, and there may be, and a lot of that just perhaps is negligence, late on a Friday or Saturday night over the weekend.
Yeah, early morning hours.
That helps explain. The city medical examiner backed up their report, saying that Epstein killed himself.
Yeah, interesting enough, too, after the Blasio statement, the office came out and reaffirmed their decision. Okay? But Barr is looking at this. Barr, FBI, the IG, he came out at the time and said he was astonished and that he said that these agencies were looking. But we haven't got that report. We don't know what's going on behind closed doors with the FBI. And I am hopeful, among others, that at some point we're going to get answers from the FBI.
And for the first time, we got to look at some of those pictures from the autopsy report. But Dr. Baden really, changing the story here with this week. He went on Hannity last night, really talking about the difference in how those bones were broken and what that told him. Here's Dr. Baden.
Yep. I attended the autopsy, spoke with the medical examiner doing the autopsy, and noticed with her that there were some unusual injuries for a person who was described as having committed suicide by hanging. There were extensive forceful damage to his neck organs.
There was always questions about that, even initially, right?
Sure. I mean, yeah, timing is questionable. Why is it coming out now? We have been talking about this over the last couple months, though. We have. And again, those facts are not disputed. In fact, the ME found the same thing.
The medical examiner.
The New York medical examiner.
Put a fine point on this, David. And you're right about what Baden said. His words, he's casting doubt on the conclusion.
Correct.
He's not saying someone killed Epstein.
Right. He's also saying that when he was there at the autopsy, that the chief medical examiner that was responsible did not come to a conclusion, said that it was open, and he questions what evidence was found. He also says that there's plenty of other evidence that we don't know about. For example, fingernail scrapings were taken from Epstein to see if there was a struggle. They took swabs of the clothing, and he wants to see whether or not the ligature has any DNA as well. All reasonable questions. And guys, I'm a former homicide prosecutor myself. I've been in those autopsies. I've worked with the medical examiners. If I was in that same place on this same case, I would have the exact same questions.
Wow. David Bruno, thank you for your time, sir. We'll see if this goes anywhere.
Thank you.